Good morning to everyone. I am Dr. K. Vijay Kumar, Associate Professor, Public Administration, Government City College, Hyderabad. Today we are discussing the behavioral approach by H.A. Simon. Behavioral approach by H.A. Simon. In this topic, these are the main subtopics. These are the objectives of behavioral approach, introduction, life and work, Simon contribution to the behavioral approach, then the place of decision making, choice and behavior, value and facts in decision making, the hierarchy of decisions, then rationality in decision making. Decision making and the administrative process. Then the last one is conclusion. These are the subtopics of behavioral approach by H.A. Simon. Objectives of the behavioral approach. The first one, understand the basic ideas of behavioral approach. Understand the basic ideas of behavioral approach. Then describe the decision making models. Simon. Recognize the rationality in decision making. Then explain the decision making in administrative process. He explains the contribution of the Herbert Simon to behavioral approach. These are these objectives. Understand the basic ideas of behavioral approach. Able to describe the decision making models of Simon. Then recognize the rationality in decision making and explain the decision making in administrative process. What are the basic ideas of behavioral approach? That is the main objective of the topic. Then he described the decision making models of Simon. Then recognize the rationality in decision making. What is the rationality in the decision making? That is another objective of the topic. Then the decision making in administrative process. What are the process? That is the another objective of the topic. Then introduction. These studies have built theoretical construction of social system and some essential notions of human behavior. The studies called behavioral studies or of human behavior through interdisciplinary approach. It is drawing knowledge from anthropology, sociology, and psychology, and generally labeled as behavioral sciences. These are the nothing but behavioral sciences, that is anthropology, sociology, and psychology. That's why we are treating this topic. It is an interdisciplinary approach. Behavioral approach is nothing but a interdisciplinary approach. Then in the field of administrative behavior, major studies pertain to bureaucracy, human relation, motivation, and decision making. Then Simon contribution has been particularly significant in the field of decision making. The administrative studies in 1930s and 40s reflect a significant amount of imperialism, which lead to substantial modification in previously held views about man in organization. These studies have built theoretical constructs of social system and some essential notions of human bureaucracy, human behavior. A number of attempts were made during this period to conceptualize and theorize on what is being discovered about man at work, and these are considered as precautionary steps to the later development of organizational theory. These studies called behavioral studies or studies of human behavior through interdisciplinary approach, drawing from the knowledge available in anthropology, sociology, and psychology, and have become a part of a vital development that is generally labeled as behavioral science. In the field of administrative behavior, major studies pertain to bureaucracy, human relations, motivation, and decision making. Herbert Simon's contribution has been particularly significant in the field of decision making. Then is life and work. Herbert Alexander Simon was born in 1916 in Wisconsin, USA. He was expired in 2001. He studied social sciences and mathematics from Chicago University. His PhD in political science in 1943 with major field in public administration. Same, it is also from the Chicago University. He served as a professor in different universities. Simon was associate with several public organizations, several prestigious organizations including Bureau of Budget, Census Bureau, Economic Cooperative Administration, President's Science Advisory Committee, and Chairman on the American Social Sciences Research Council. This is the prestigious committees, prestigious bureaus of the USA. Then Simon published his doctoral dissertation as Administrative Behavior. It was published in 1947. It is top 10 influential work in political science in 20th century. Simon received honorary degrees from over 24 universities. His workshop automation in 1960, his works, that is workshop automation 1960, human problem solving 1972, organization 1948. For his administrative behavioral and decision making, he got even Nobel Prize also in 1974. Herbert Alexander Simon was born in Wisconsin. He entered the University of Chicago in 1933 and studied social sciences and mathematics. He obtained BA 1936 and PhD in 1943 in political science with a major field in public administration from the Chicago University. Simon started his professional career in 1936 with International City Managers Association as an assistant to Clarence E. Ridley, moved to administrative measurement studies at the Bureau of Public Administration, University of California, as its director in 1939. In 1942, joined as an associate professor of political science at Illinois Institute of Technology, where he was chairman of Department of Political Science and Social Sciences during 1946 and 49. He became professor of administration and psychology at the famous Carnegie Mellon University in 1949 and later became the Richard King Mellon University Professor of Computer Science and Psychology and remained there until his death, that is up to 2001. Simon was associated with several public organizations including Bureau of Budgets, then Census Bureau, then Economic Cooperation Administration, then President's Science Advisory Committee, Chairman of American Social Science Research Council, etc. He was also associated with several other government and business organizations and member of professional associations of political science, economics, psychology, sociology, computer science, management and philosophy also, etc., signifying that he was a true social scientist. He was a true social scientist. Simon was influenced by MP Paulet's ideas on group dynamics in organizations and human relations approach pioneered by Elton Mayo and others. Bernard's functions of the executive had a positive influence on Simon's thinking about administration. Simon is one of the most influential social scientists, and his role in shaping 20th century social sciences as unparalleled. unparalleled. He was an indefatigable advocate of social sciences and explanatory of modern scientists. He was called a scientist's scientist. He was called a scientist's saint and received major awards from different science communities. He authored over 1,000 highly cited publications, many of which were translated into various languages including Turkish, Persian, and Chinese. His publications, if need to be classified into disciplines, include public administration, political science, operation research, management, systems theory, organization theory, decision theory, economics, and econometrics, sociology, social psychology, cognitive psychology, sociobiology, mathematics, philosophy, linguistics, and computer science. Human decision making and problem solving process and the implication of these processes of social institutions provide the thread of continuity in all his studies. Simon started his research work in 1930s on city management that later culminated into book titled Measuring Municipal Activities in 1938. Simon published his doctoral dissertation as Administrative Behavior in 1947. It is one of the 20th century's top 10 most influential work in political science, public administration and management. It is the top 10 published work in those days in that 20th century. Simon's contribution to behavioral approach. The Simon waged to frontal attack on the structural approach. He criticized the principles of organization and described them as proverbs. That is the most important one in comment, that is regarding organizational principles. He criticized the principles of organization and described them as proverbs. His investigation that lead to the genesis of the study of administrative behavior with a focus on authority and decision making. According to Simon, decision making is a universal process and can from the base for wider organizational analysis. Simon waged a frontal attack on the structural approach. He criticized the principles of organization and described them as proverbs. Just simply he said, it's nothing but proverbs. According to him, principles of organizations are proverbs according to him. It is pointed out that the principles were contradictory and internally inconsistent. They lack scientific validity and universal relevance. It is on these grounds that their theoretical basis to analyze or explain the organizational phenomenon is questioned. Any valid theoretical construct should possess a frame of reference which would have universal validity. It is this investigation that led to the genesis of the study of administrative behavior with a focus on authority and decision making. Unlike the principles which have a contractual relevance, the decision making according to Simon is a universal process. According to him, decision making is a universal process and come from the base for wider organizational analysis. Then the place of decision making. The place of decision making. Administration, according to H.S. Simon, is generally treated as the heart of the getting things done. Administration is nothing but he defined. Administration, according to him, is generally treated as the art of the getting things done. Then the decision making or behavioral approach deals with the process of choice which leads action. Then rationality of human being laid in selecting such alternative which can produce maximum positive results and minimum negative results. Rationality of human being laid in selecting such alternative which can produce maximum positive results and minimum negative results. Behavioral approach emphasizes the insight into the structure and its functions can be gained by analyzing the manner in the decision and the behavior of such employees are influenced within and by the organization. The administration, according to him, is generally treated as the art of getting things done. In this approach, he emphasizes is laid on the process and methods that ensure action. In the whole discussion on administration, sufficient attention is not paid to the choice which precedes action to the determinants of what is to be done rather than to the actual doing. Without an adequate understanding of this dimension, which is rooted in the behavior of man in the organization, the study of administration would remain largely inadequate. In the behavioral approach, the first question that is to be understood is that process of precedes action. This process is popularly known as decision making process. The question of decision making arises when there are different alternatives or courses of action open to an individual. Since one cannot choose different courses of action or more than one alternative, one has to choose only one alternative by process of elimination. Therefore, the decision making is defined in simple terms as a process of reducing the alternatives to one. Rationality of human being lies in selecting such alternative which can produce maximum positive results and minimum negative results. Which would in turn determine the effectiveness of doing the job. Behavioral approach argues that higher levels in the organization are considered important because they are entrusted with more crucial decision making. The logic that is applied in this context is that of doing of a job is more important than the men on the spot working at a lower levels of the organizational hierarchy would have been given more important place than the supervisory staff or men at the higher levels. For instance, in a battle, the soldiers fight the enemies. They also take many decisions at their own levels. However, overall strategy that is formulated by the generals who are not engaged in the actual battle would determine the outcome of the battle. In an automobile industry, the physical product, say the car, is produced by the mechanics on the assembly line and not the engineer nor the executive. At the latter occupy the crucial place. Another illustration that is cited in the fire extinguish department also. Here it is the team of firemen who extinguish the fire and not the fire chief or the captain. In smaller organizations, the influence of the supervisory staff is direct, while the influence is indirect in the big and complex organizations. It is for these reasons that the behavioral approach emphasizes the insight into structure and function of an organization can best be gained by analyzing the manner in which the decisions and the behavior of such employees are influenced within and by the organization. Then value and facts in decision making. Value and facts in decision making. The behavior of members of an organization is partly determined by the purpose of the organization. The behavior will have to be purposive. It is the purposiveness which brings about an organization in the pattern of behavior. It is the purposiveness which brings about an integration in the pattern of behavior. Then each decision making involves the selection of goals and behavior related to it. Then the behavior approach maintains that is so far as decision lead towards the selection of the final goals, they will be called value judgments. So far as they involves the implementations of such goals, they will be called factual judgments. The administration consists in getting things done by the group of people. The purpose provides the frame of reference and determines what things are to be done and what things should not be done. In the process, even minute decision governing specific action is necessarily an application of broader decisions relating to the purpose and to the method. The illustration that is cited by Simon refers to such a mechanical process like walking. He describes the process as follows. A walker contracts his leg muscles in order to make a step. He takes a step in order to proceed towards his destination. He is going to the destination, a mailbox, in order to mail a letter. He is sending a letter in order to transmit certain information into another person, and so forth. Each decision involves the selection of a goal and a behavior relevant to it. This goal may in turn be mediate to a somewhat more distinct goal, and so on until a relatively final aim is reached. The decisions whether to allocate more amount to roads or parks, education or health are not interlinked with the value judgments. For instance, the length of the road, the connecting points, the type of road, etc. are the decisions related to the factual judgments. This is the value and facts in the decision making. Then the hierarchy of decisions. It is a rational so far as it selects alternatives which are conducive to the achievements of the previously selected goals. The difficulties arises because no organization purpose a single goal. The decisions are higher levels, involving more of value judgments, and the decision at lower levels involves more of factual judgments. Rationality in the decision making process largely depends upon the correct choice of both the value judgment and factual judgment. The concept of positiveness involves the notion of hierarchy of decisions. Each step down in the hierarchy consisting in an implementation of the goals set forth in the step immediately above. Behavior is purposive in so far as it is guided by general goals, objectives of the organizations. Then the government agency seeks to achieve many goals. It is the complexity that makes perfect integration extremely difficult. However, certain amount of integration will have got the achieved in reality, without which no purpose can be achieved. The above discussion uphold two important dimensions of behavioral approach, that is the policy making and the implementation. The involvement of facts and values in the decision making approach, it highlights that the decisions or higher levels involve more of value judgments and the decisions at lower levels involve more of factual judgments. In the decision making process, choosing of ends involves selection of an alternative based on value judgments, and in selection of means to achieve the end, it is the factual judgment that is involved. Rationality in the decision making process largely depends upon the correct choice of both the value judgment and factual judgments. The hierarchy of decisions. It is a rational so far as it selects alternatives which are conducive to the achievement of the previously selected goals. The difficulties arises because no organizations purpose a single goal. The decisions are higher levels involving more of value judgments, and the decisions at lower levels involves more of factual judgments. The rationality in the decision making process largely depends upon the correct choice of both the value judgments and factual judgments. Then rationality in decision making. Decision making is a complete process involving a chain of unending decision, one related to the others. Then in a simple decision making process, the decisions tend to be very rational. Then the choice generally depends upon the value disposition of the decision market. In a similar situation, analyzing the sequence is easier and therefore a better decision making is possible. In a complex situation which involves a large network of the decisions at different paces, the rationality in decision making is bound to suffer. It is possible that a decision which produces more positive effects in the first phase may gradually produce lesser and lesser good facts, and at the fourth or fifth phase it may start producing negative effects. In this process, a course of action which is rational in the first phase may not prove to be rational in the subsequent phase, thereby it may run into an irrational choice. Similarly, a nation which invests its resources on large projects may suffer initially but would gain ultimately. In this case, a choice which produces a negative effect initially appears to be irrational in the first phase but would turn into a rational decision at a subsequent phase. The choice of the decision therefore assumes importance. The choice generally depends upon the value disposition of the decision maker. The values form a basis of behavior, hence the importance of behavioral approach. Then decision making and administrative process. Decision making and administrative process. In this, the division of work, coordination, expertise, responsibility. While we are there taking decision making and administrative process, decision making. In decision making, these are the main administrative process, that is division of work. The administration is characterized by specialization. Particular tasks as delegated to particular parts of the organization. This specialization may take form of a vertical division of labor down in the organization. This is to a large extent determines the pattern of decision making choices. Another one is coordination. Group behavior required not only in the adoption of correct decision but also adaptation of all members of the group the same decision. So they would probably meet with their achievement if they adopt a decision, however defective and bad the design may be. So the coordination, it is the one step administrative process while we are taking the decision making. Expertise. In an administrative organization, there is a need for specialized skill at the operative level. Particular skill can be performed by persons possessing the skill. Likewise, to gain the advantage of expertise in decision making, the responsibility of decision making must be so allocated that the decisions requiring particular skill can be made by persons possessing the skill. Then responsibility. The administrative organization seeks to enforce conformity of the individual to norms laid down by the group. Thus, autonomy in the decision making is restricted at various levels by higher decision making and enforce of responsibilities. Then modes of organizational influence. An administrative organization devises its own modes and methods to influence the decision making process. The modes that are used to influence the behavioral approach, that are the authority, organizational loyalties, efficiency, information, and training. These are the modes of organizational influences. Authority, it is one organizational influence, one method. Then organizational loyalties also, it is also one another important organizational influence. Then efficiency, in every organization it is the most one. Then information also it another one. Then training, with a good training, excellent training, then automatically it will leads to the good and excellent organizational. Then conclusion. The behavioral approach marks a significant breakthrough in the growth and evolution of organizational theory. It brought in the behavioral components based on value judgments. There is no doubt that behavioral approach widened conceptual framework and contributed richly to the organization in general and organizational behavior in particular. Then the study of administration would have gained enormously. There is no doubt that behavioral approach widened the conceptual framework and contributed richly to the lively devote on organization in general and as well as organizational behavior in particularly. Thank you. ఇదేనా
ఇదో మధ్యలో అది